Hey guys, it's your boy here, Brian, with the second ever podcast ever. Here with one of my greatest friends here that we met online a couple of months ago, and we're here to talk about some horror movies, horror dramas. It's something weird out there, for sure. You can introduce yourself.
It was more like a year or two ago, not a couple months. But
True. Yeah, I mean, time flies when you're having fun, I guess.
Yeah. This is Kris, and I'm also an avid horror fan, and I honestly am honored that Brian asked me to come on and to share whatever knowledge I could in anything he wants to talk about. So
Yeah.
I also have a podcast coming up myself, but we'll talk about more about that later.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you guys, it's coming for sure. Like, we're gonna have like literally guests on it. So yeah, something definitely keep your eyes out.
I literally, it was amazing how I met this guest, and she was just so, I met her at a con, and she was just so drawn to me. It was the most surreal, it was the best experience I've ever had with a celebrity. And when I go to leave, she was like, "Are you going to keep in touch with me?" And I was like, "Yeah, I have your Instagram." And she's like, "No," and she gives me your number. So then I'm like, "Oh, fuck." So we definitely have a good guest coming on our very first episode. So
sweet. Yeah,
we'll let that be a little surprise.
Yeah, definitely. And it's I'm gonna say that the movie that person is in, it's probably one of the best horror movies of all time. Like, people are gonna dig it for sure.
Yeah, she's definitely a vet in the genre, and she's done a lot of, B stuff lately. She's really into indie movies, but I kind of feel like she's on up there with Danielle Harris, maybe not as beloved, but she's still like a hot girl of horror, because when I met her, she just, for her age, she just looked fucking phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
like,
for sure.
Just like, and the con that I was at was not, it was 2 months ago. It was still kind of COVID, and it wasn't the best one. It was very tamed down. The guest list was very muff, so she was the one that I wanted to meet, and I was like, "Girl, you're the star." And that's when she was like, "Okay, you're my best friend." So
I met her twice.
We'll talk more about her later.
Yeah, definitely. We'll bring it back there. But yeah, we'll be talking about this movie. This movie that no one's been talking about for whatever reason. It's
I know.
It's like I knew you found out because of me. That's how.
What'd you say?
You found out about this movie because of me.
I did, and when you were like, "You gotta watch it," and I had kind of looked at the trailer and I saw the poster, I was like, "Oh, it's a good 70s giallo-esque film," but I was definitely surprised, and it took me a while to get to watch it, and I finally did, and I was honestly, I know you're such a good judge of movies, so any movie that you've ever told me to watch, it's always been good. You're the one who got me into watching the giallo movies. Ooh. The Fulci's work now. Fulci is like my fucking favorite director ever. I'm like so obsessed, and it's so weird. I had never found him until you suggested it. So I was happy to sit down and watch it, and I was definitely pleasantly surprised. It's definitely not what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. It happens with those. There's another really good one out there that no one talks about it, but like, it's called What Have They Done to Your Daughters? I'm not sure if I recommended that one to you.
No, but I need to watch
I'll send you the link.
Yeah, do that.
I'll send you it there. It's really good. You're probably gonna be like dissatisfied with the ending, but like,
well,
that's
most endings back in the day were kind of like, anyway.
It's like a giallo thing, to be honest. Like most, like it's all good, and the ending is just like meh. Like they didn't really care about the ending; they just care about how to get there, kind of thing. Yeah.
But this movie that you turned me on to, I was like, oh, it can't be that good. But then I was like, well, if Brian thinks it's, that good, and I see him making like sites up about it and fan sites for it, then
Yeah.
or then it's got to be good. And I was so pleasantly surprised. I thought that it was the little twist had some nice twists in it. Do you want me to kind of do some non-spoilery?
Yeah, we'll do non-spoilers. The movie's called Toys Are Not for Children. Yeah, it's up there. Like, this movie is not talked about as much for whatever reason. And to give like non-spoilers, to give like non-spoiler, like a summary, basically, it's about this girl that's out there. She's around like 18, 19, 20 years old. She has weird like obsession with her father, I guess. Like, I'm not sure if it's obsession, if it's something else.
Definitely daddy.
yeah, she has some daddy issues. That's what's the main key in this movie. Like, and both basically
off gate. You were like, whoa, bitch.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, this movie, it's awesome for me. Like, it's something that you barely don't see anymore, or haven't seen like at all. Like, nothing to compare it to, kind of movie. And basically, this girl goes on a journey to find her father. She gets married. A whole lot of stuff goes downhill. Basically, this movie, it's insane.
It definitely has a lot of little twists in it too. And a lot of the subject matter, I don't really know, but I don't really remember movies being that. Yeah. I'll just go ahead and say it. It's got some vulgar themes.
Yeah.
So I don't really remember. I do, Last House on the Left, and then I Spit on Your Grave. Those kind of touched on sexual things, but I don't remember movies. I mean, I wasn't alive back then, but
yeah.
I didn't think that it was going to be as dark and erotic and sexualized as it was. So I was really surprised, but it definitely had a lot of what the fuck moments. That's for sure.
For real, like
you're not, and the way it's like you kind of know throughout the movie, you kind of know what's going on, but then you kind of don't. And then she goes and does something that you don't think is going to happen, and then it just
it blows up.
Definitely does. I really enjoyed it. I think I'm going to have to need to. It's kind of like those. It's kind of like The House by the Cemetery. I feel like, to me, it's kind of like the first time I watched it, I was like, wow, that was really good. Second, third, and fourth time I watched it, I'm like, oh God, that's like in my top 5. That's amazing. I think that movie. I think after I sit down and watch it a couple more times, I think it's definitely I'm gonna have to buy it for sure.
If you watch it for one time, you won't catch everything. That's the thing with this movie. Like, you would need to repeatedly watch it. Like, sometimes it's very rewatchable, even despite how like disgusting and how like taboo-ish it is. Despite having all that.
Taboo.
The weird part is that like there's barely any cursing at all in this movie. Like, barely any nudity. It's all subtle. It's
very subtle. It's like so subtle that you can almost taste it. What's going on? You know what I mean?
Like, it's there. Like, it's like right behind your mind. It's not up in your face kind of thing, but it's like as the background of that movie. It's that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's the dark. I guess not. I'm gonna say darkness in the world, but like just like the dark side of stuff that doesn't get showcased. Like, and I'm pretty sure this stuff probably has happened in real life.
Yeah, I think so too. And like there may be some Lifetime movies that have touched on it, but nothing. I feel like of this like magnitude. I feel like this movie was a pretty, I guess, a high production. I would say. I feel like it was. I think that it was shot beautifully. I loved the colors. I loved the early 70s theme. I loved the dresses. I really, really, really. It was visually, and the one that I rented was not the HD one, and the one that I saw was, I liked it.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah, like I have the Blu-ray from Arrow, which that will also be in the description in case people want to buy it and see it. It's the best way to see it, to be honest. Like, the bonus features, it doesn't have as much, but the little that does give you, it gets you like how stuff played out a little bit more. I know a little bit more because I dug a little more deeper into it, so I know a little bit more stuff that the Blu-ray won't have, but I'll say it here in case of anything like that. Like, let's even start with the characters. Like, you got Jamie, played by Marcia Forbes, as the innocent girl. She's great.
That's the young girl, right?
Yeah. She's great.
Okay, I forgot the things in it. Yeah, she's really good. She was beautiful, actually.
Yeah.
And I think she played the character very well.
Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure she had nothing to go off of. That's the thing. It's just be like, oh, play this innocent girl kind of thing. It could be that way, too. Just play the innocent girl, we'll give you some lines, and you do them. But she fits it. Like, she looks innocent. She plays the innocent. Something in the story happens that she needs to change. And she does that part good, too. With that there, yeah.
She plays innocent, and she also plays bad very well.
Yeah, definitely. Like, there's... Well, we'll get to spoilers after we talk about the characters, but yeah, like, she does both very well. Like, she nails it. It doesn't feel like...
And then I also heard that was, like, her only role that she ever did.
It is. It is. I'll explain why that happened.
Yeah.
It's interesting how that all played out, and, like, she's still around. Just to throw it out there, like, she hasn't passed away or anything.
Yeah, you need to tell me when we got off of here.
Yeah, because I know the family, so I don't want to, like, give all that information out to the world. But to you, like, since I trust you and everything, like, I'm sure you're not going to tell someone else. I can't give you too much of specifics on, but I'll give you just, like, a brief of it, just in case they're listening. But yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Marcia and her daughter are great people, for sure.
Awesome. Well, hopefully this little podcast and telling this movie, will get some more people to get interested in it. And maybe the people who, were involved in it could see it and be like, wow,
Yeah.
Maybe it would want them to dive back into it again,
Yeah. Let's even talk about Marcia as her character. I'm gonna dig a little bit deeper, like what's up with her, what she's been doing. I'm not gonna like say exactly what she's been doing. I don't know that exactly, but yeah, this was like her only movie that she did. It was basically like a one and done thing. There's stories about there of why she didn't act anymore. It's mixed out there because there's stories out there that I've heard that like this movie was so disgusting that all the actors decided to do no more movies, which this is everyone's last movie in that movie, except for the guy who plays her husband.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was in other stuff too.
I felt bad for the hubby.
Yeah, I feel like he's a good guy in the movie, but like stuff happens that he has to go elsewhere.
Really nice with her.
Yeah, I mean I wouldn't say he was patient, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, his name is Harlan Cary Poe. Believe it or not, he's related to Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh, that's nice.
That's
interesting. Like that.
It's interesting, yeah. And the Blu-ray, they explain a little bit more on it there. I believe he's like the third generation after Edgar Allan Poe.
That's really cool. I just listened to a podcast on how he died today.
Yeah, supposedly, I'm not sure how true this is, but that his grandmother, for people out there, for the Edgar Allan Poe fans out there, there's a story out there that he slept with his cousin when she was like 14.
Who, Edgar?
Yeah, Edgar Allan Poe. He slept with his cousin. I believe she was around 14 or 13. And that is his grandma.
Oh, well, I wouldn't put it past him.
I mean, it's nothing to like, to be like proud of, but...
Back then, it was a different time. You know what I mean? So, like, maybe back then, screwing a relative wasn't...
Yeah, it wasn't seen probably like as immoral or anything. It was just like normal. Like, and like population back then was weird. Because I'm pretty sure, like, even with the town, like, I come from Puerto Rico, and like the town I lived in, there's probably like 200, 300 people, and everyone knows each other. Like...
Yeah, and they probably were trying to, like, carry some sort of a bloodline along.
Could be, too.
Because I was listening to something about Elizabeth Bathory the other day, and they were saying that her husband had slept with one of their relatives just to keep the bloodline going. So maybe it was something weird like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I get off topic easily. Sorry. So
no, you're good.
Correct.
Yeah, I know it's crazy stuff for that time period there. But yeah, getting back into Marcia there, yeah,
Yeah.
basically this was her one and done movie. Basically the story is that she married I'm probably gonna say the name, but I'm gonna just say like what it is because it's in the Blu-ray as well. So I'm not like throwing information out there that no one knows like yet. But
Okay.
basically, she married the original owner from Canon Films. If,
Oh, Canon Films.
yeah, like movies that made like
That's still like a thing, right?
I think they're not. I think they were done like in the early
Oh,
two
I don't know
thousands.
why.
He's the original owner though. He
Okay.
sold in the 80s. That's when like movies like Chopping Mall came out and
Oh, I still haven't seen that. I know that that's like a.
you have to.
I know that that's like a cult classic, but
It
that's
is.
one of. I remember as a kid seeing it at the video store.
Yeah.
I remember being like, "Oh, I want to rent that," and I never got it.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll watch it tonight too. There's
Yeah.
a lot of stuff that a lot of people are fans of, and they're like, "Oh my god, you say you're a true horror fan," and I'm like,
Yeah.
but
There's
I
always
also
something I haven't watched either.
I find it amazing when I just turned 32 the other day, and like when I find movies, like when you told me about the Fulci's movies, and I witnessed those, and I kept thinking, oh my god, how have I not watched this? Like,
Yeah.
so it's such a treat to. When you think that you've seen everything, to find something that really blows your mind, it's really such a treat. So
It is like
thank you for suggesting those and this movie. So
yeah, definitely, and for all the people
yeah.
too. Yeah, I'll put the Blu-rays in the description. I love physical media, so that's what most people are gonna see in the description for that one too. But yeah, and like she married the original owner from Canon Films. He sold that company in the 80s. He's doing other stuff now. I believe he has he's like a founder. I'm not sure he's the founder or owner of like a company who like does like research on skin cancer.
Okay.
But yeah, they're living fine right now. They're both still out there.
She's still alive, that
yeah,
girl?
yeah.
Whoa. I'm going to have to look her up. Does she have an Instagram?
No. No.
I'm just kidding.
No, yeah.
I'm sure she doesn't. But
trust me, like
hopefully she did.
finding her was not easy for me. Like, literally, like as soon as I saw that movie, I'm like, oh my god! Like, it came into my mind, like, are these people even still around? I looked up the other actors; they're no longer around. Most of them are dead. I would say like probably like 98 people connected to this movie are passed away.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's super. Like the thing is, some people don't have Facebook neither, so you never like probably can never find them at all. But this one we definitely found. I found Marcia about like a few months ago. Yeah, I was super excited. Like, oh my god,
really
it's you. So
I know that's super cool. I love it.
Fun fact: she never told her kids about this movie.
I was about to say, I wonder if this movie is like a big conversation starter, or like, is she like sitting down with her family? Kids, I did this one movie years ago and decided to get out of the game.
Yeah.
And then when they see it, and they're like, oh fuck, grandma.
No, yeah. I mean, yeah, the movie's pretty messed up. But like, yeah, she never talked about it about her with the kids or anything. She has a few kids. But yeah, she hasn't. I contacted her daughter first. So
that's cool.
Yeah, so basically, I was the one who tell her, "Hey, is your mom this person?" And she was like, "Oh my god, she is." Fun thing, she never told me about this movie, and I'm in my 50s. And I'm like,
"Oh god, how old is she now?"
I believe she's like 72, 73.
I'm
yeah.
Sure. Well, that's still kind of young. That's still young enough for an interview.
She looks young too. She still looks good for her age. Like you would see her, like you wouldn't think she was 73. You probably think like, well, she's probably like in her mid 50s to early 60s kind of thing.
That's cool because most women don't.
Yeah.
But when you find a rare few that age gracefully, kind of like Jennifer Tilly, it's like,
oh yeah, like it's. That's like God level.
So anyway, I keep interrupting you, but
you're good.
Called, and did you get through to her? Did you get to speak to her ever?
To Marcia?
Yeah.
I did not. Okay. Mainly, I contacted her daughter because like it was like a long thing to get to even Marcia itself. So I'm like, oh my god. I found her Facebook now, like, but the thing is, I think she hasn't connected to it since last year. So red bells, red flag starts coming up. I'm like, I hope she's still around. I really hope she is. Cause like, it happens, like, I
know.
And then like, I found her daughter, her daughter owns a business. I contacted her and say, hey, mom, is this and this? Like, oh my god, it is. So yeah, we got into like that. I'll get into more details about that down the road of how that resolves, kind of thing. So yeah, that's another update we'll have with Andrew and hopefully Eric.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's some good stuff. Trust me.
What about the other characters? Let's
see.
There's a couple of other honorable mentions to the story.
Yeah. The other one would be the one who plays the mom, Fran Warren.
I heard you say her name a lot. I need to look into some of her stuff.
I think this is her only movie, though, as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
She passed away not too long ago. She actually passed away like 5 years ago, I think, or 6. And when she was in that movie, she was like 40.
Yeah, she looked kind of old in it.
Yeah. She was a really big singer in the 40s and 50s. I'm not sure if you ever heard the song Sunday Kind of Love.
Maybe, possibly.
It's been done a lot of times, that song. And basically, she was the one who originated that song. She was real big in the 40s and 50s. I have her autograph, which is awesome.
Oh, yeah, that is amazing.
Yeah,
cool.
Super hard to find, at least like authentic ones. But yeah, I found hers. It's fun stuff. I don't have Marcia's yet.
Yet, I know.
Hopefully, so I can.
I don't want to like do a whole documentary about this movie and like go find them.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
It'd be a long trip.
Yeah.
Let's put it at that. But yeah, another actor, Fran Warren is great in this movie. That's the thing. She's the mom. She doesn't have a big role, but the part she's in, she used to do a lot of like plays in New York. She was pretty big in New York doing plays in like Manhattan stuff and Broadway. In that time period.
I thought her parts were definitely memorable.
Yeah.
Each scene she was in was memorable.
You're just like your father.
I know.
Like, geez, mom.
And then there was something else funny she said about the daughter, but
unnatural.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, she's great.
I'm gonna have to rewatch it like 2 or 3 times now.
Yeah.
Because as I've gotten older too, when I watch movies, I have to watch them a couple times because it's like
some stuff slips.
I can't just like be in the moment. I need to like take a chill pill.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens. But yeah, she's great in the movie. Like she doesn't have a big role, but she stands out as far as the other one. As far like performance wise, another one would be the husband, Harlan Cary Poe. He was pretty big in the 70s. He did a movie called Stigma. What was that?
Like the real dad in the movie?
Oh no, that's the real dad. I forgot his name. I think his name is John, I would say.
Oh, you're
in the movie.
The younger husband.
No, I'm talking about the like Marcia's like the girl's father. His name was Peter Lighthouse. He did like 3 movies. This was his last one as well. Same thing with Fran Warren and Marcia.
Damn, way to go out with the back.
Yeah, that's why there's a big rumor out there that says, "Oh my God, this movie was so disgusting they never wanted to act again." I don't think that's true. It could be, but I doubt it. Cause like,
yeah, I doubt it.
It's sometimes people are just like, "Hey, acting is just not for me." They do 1 or 2 or 3 movies and they're done. It could just be one of those case scenarios.
I don't think it was the movie itself.
Yeah. And also another thing is too, as I was speaking to one of Marcia's daughters, she spoke to Marcia about it, and basically she said that everyone had a great experience with the movie while making it. Like everyone was very professional, everyone was nice. Yeah. So it wasn't like a bad experience.
Put together and filmed really well, I thought.
Yeah, it's really good edited. Like there's a scene where like the husband speaks to her and like him and the father cut out between scenes. Like it's like a mere reflection, and he's like, "Oh, don't wait for me." don't stay up late, like that kind of thing.
Right.
It's kind of weird how it's kind of cool how they did that. Like that movie's like it's ahead of its time. That thing what they did.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that too, just from watching it last night, and then the other time I watched it, because I kind of feel like it was ahead of its time. I kind of feel like they would make a movie now. They have made movies that dive into like taboo stuff,
And they haven't. They really haven't.
I'm sure back then, I bet you when people saw that movie back then, they were like, "Oh my fucking god!" Like,
we'll get to that too. Yeah, it's fun. It's a real fun story to it. And the other act.
I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Go ahead.
I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Me too.
Like after I was about 20 minutes in, the fucking mood or something shifted, and I was just like, "Oh shit!"
It's really, just to go a little bit like.
And I won't say which scene. I want to say which scene it was.
No, you're good.
I won't say it.
Yeah, like there's something that shifts in the movie like within the first 10 minutes. Like the beginning scene where I'm not gonna spoil it yet. We'll leave that for like 10 more minutes in. But like the movie just starts in black and darkness, opens up. We see Marcia's feet. She's doing something. Her mother breaks through the door. She yells at her, and like you have this high elevation of everything. Like it just goes high, like higher and higher and higher. And then you get that title card in there with all the toys and everything that it kind of like has a free, like you almost get like anxiety, and then it takes you like almost over to the mountain, and then they hit you with a title card, and the title card is very dragged out with a song called Lonely Am I from T.O. Davis.
Okay.
Yeah, basically that song is almost like 3 minutes long. You can see the toys. It's almost freaky like how the toys move.
Yeah, it was scary to me.
Yeah.
It was freaky.
I was like, as soon as I saw, I'm like, oh my god, what did I just got into? Like,
I know. Like, the first few minutes of it, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's like
okay.
Like, what just happened? Like that. It's crazy. But yeah,
that just happened.
Yeah. Also, side note, the guy who sang the song T.O. Davis, he passed away as well. I contacted his daughter about this. He's no longer around. I believe he died a few years ago. I would say 2013.
God,
yeah.
Seems like
although the writer of this song her name is Kathy Lynn, as the credits show her as, but her real name is Kathy Songs, and she lives in Hawaii, so she's still out there. As far as my knowledge, like Marcia and Kathy is the only ones connected to the movie that are still around. As far as my knowledge go, could be like some, like someone behind the scenes might still be around, but I doubt it.
So, well, let me ask you this. Back then, you obviously know a little bit more about the movie than I do. Back then, was it like, did a lot of people see it? Was it like widely received?
Yeah. So, with it, this movie was made with the budget supposedly around $10,000, believe it or not.
Yeah, for back then.
Yeah, I mean, it's like $10,000 must have been like $100,000 what it is today. Wouldn't surprise me. I know I can have a calculator somewhere, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But yeah, like this movie, the first 5 days, I have a newspaper article about it that says that they made over $130,000 in 5 days in Philadelphia, which was where this movie was first shown.
That's a lot of money, I guess, for back then.
It is, which I find weird. And then people say it's a flop. Like, as far as like people back then, like movie experts, they say it's a flop. Supposedly that the director, Stanley H. Brasloff, which I'll get a little more details also, he supposedly owed money to the distributors for a film he previously did, which was called Two Girls and a Madman. It's a 60 movies. I saw it the other day. It's okay. Like, the movie isn't like this. Like, this one, he wanted to make a really big movie out of this one. The first film, his first film, it was just like, I wanted to make a movie because I have a few actors and I have a story I can put together. I'll stretch some scenes out. That's what it feels like.
Right.
So, basically, this movie supposedly made $150,000 in Philadelphia alone in 5 days. So...
Maybe just because it was like in the 70s, maybe it just didn't.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just popular for like a big, large group of people and made a lot of money, and then
yeah,
nobody really heard from it after that.
Yeah.
You know,
like Fran Warren and the director, they would go on radio shows and talk about the movie to promote it. And Fran was a really big name. Even like she was out of Broadway like 20 years ago, and I guess like that's when she reappeared back to the audience. So she had a really big fan base. You know, she made music. She had those fans there. She had her Broadway fans. So all that.
You'll have to find me some of those if you can hear them.
I wish I could. The thing is,
Cool.
It was in Philadelphia. Most of those news stations, I can contact those radio stations if they're still around to see if they can send us those clips, which that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be cool.
50 years ago, yeah, who knows if it's still around, if so. But yeah, I try to find newspaper articles about them. Like, I found one of the director, and that was about it. Nothing really connected to Fran, but that was the story historians give about this movie, that they would go on radio shows, even on some TV shows to promote the movie. So, like, it was, like, a big thing in Philadelphia. Like, oh, my God, this movie, like, is really anticipated.
Yeah.
All that. Yeah. So, yeah, that was...
Maybe they were saying it wasn't that big because I'm sure the critics were like, oh, it's disgusting, it's vile.
Well,
and
another thing is, this movie wasn't labeled as rated R until the very last day it was released. So, the thing is, they would come out with toys in the background. They would talk about the movies like, oh my God, this movie, you know, you guys are going to love it. It's made in Philadelphia, yada yada. Fran Warren is in it. So the movie was titled Toys Are Not for Children. So, naturally, people who don't know, they would basically go into the movies thinking it was a kid's film. So you can just imagine how that played out in the first 10 minutes. I was like, alright, we're done. Like, and just probably just left. It's like... So,
I wonder if they took their kids to it, and then they were like, okay, kids, we're going to have to leave.
Yeah. Like, I want to see the toys. I'm like, well... But, yeah. It's like, that was the thing, and, like, suppose he got a little bit of bash about it. They actually changed the name of the title about a few months after it was initially released. Like, that Toys Are Not for Children title, that was there for, like, a month or so in those theaters in Philadelphia. A few months later, they retitled the movie called How to Make Love to a Virgin. Which, that one...
that would just give it all away.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I'm glad they changed it to a more...
Yeah.
Intriguing.
Yeah, those titles, they were viewed in like XXX theaters. So those were like directed to an adult audience only.
Right.
Also, this movie
I kept thinking the whole movie that she was going to be like, I'm not a virgin, I'm really a slut, but I thought that was going to be the twist.
Yeah. And like they talked as far as those movies, like that XXX movies with those names, it also had like a retitle in Canada. Also in X-rated movies, X-rated movie theaters, they were called Virgin Dolls.
Virgin Dolls?
Yeah. That was another name they gave it.
Interesting.
Yeah. After like 5 years after the movie was released, it was for only a few months. I think like the lifespan of that movie in the theaters was like 6 to 8 months when it initially released in Philadelphia, and then they stopped doing them at all. Like, they just cut it off. Supposedly he owed a lot of money, so distributors weren't taking him in. He was kind of bankrupt. That's the story. I don't really think that's the case. I just think he just owed them a lot of money, that it got to the point that he was like, let's just stop this at all so more money can accumulate on top of that.
Right.
So 5 years later, there was another guy. I forgot his name. He wasn't a director, but I'm not sure if it's the same editor or a different editor of this movie, that he found more scenes of, and there's a bigger like version of this movie. The movie that you and I saw, that's the original version. There's actually a re-edit version.
It was kind of short too.
Yeah, the other one supposedly is 2 hours long, which that movie supposedly is not. They say it's lost. I doubt it. because supposedly there's people already out there saying that they have the movie like film real.
Yeah.
And supposedly it's gonna get restored pretty soon, so that's awesome to see that 2-hour cut. There's some scenes they talked about. I think there's a shower scene with Marcia. Yeah, it's a lot of different stuff. Like this movie, like
I would definitely like to see more of it.
And the ending, the ending is changed as well. They haven't said what the ending is. I guess they want to keep it as a secret or something. But
I thought the ending of this one was pretty good.
Yeah, I guess like this was.
I mean, it was.
Go ahead.
It was. I don't know. It like definitely felt like it. I felt like it left you wanting more.
Yeah.
Because you're like, what the fuck?
It gives you enough to like it. Yeah. Probably. Yeah. That movie was the other edit. It's not a Snyder cut.
I wish it would have kind of shown him. Never mind. I don't want to.
Yeah. Supposedly.
Never mind.
Supposedly that's one of the scenes they have.
Oh. Okay. Cool. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's probably one of the scenes, but the thing is, that ending is changed. Like, that happens midway into the movie.
Oh.
So, there's some stuff that they move around back and forth within it that makes it, the whole movie it's the same feel, supposedly, but the whole thing, the story changes. Like, the ending, I believe even the beginning of the movie is different. It's with the little girl, like, when Jamie was a kid. Like, it's her arguing with her father kind of thing. And, like, it shows you, like, gradually Jamie getting aged. And then her father's no longer around, and they just go from there. But, yeah. And, like, if you notice the end of the movie, we'll talk about that later, though. But, yeah. Like, that's where that movie was at. And also the other guy, the couple, he was like a pimp.
Oh, yeah.
Those two, those were their last movies as well.
And the woman?
Yeah.
I liked her character.
Yeah, she was cool.
The little twist with her, I didn't see coming.
Yeah. Like, it's unexpected. Like,
totally unexpected.
I guess if you're like... yeah, like...
I was confused at first, and then I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I enjoyed her character. I liked how she was kind of like a motherly figure to that girl, but then to find out what was really going on was just like so like even sicker than what she was trying to protect her from.
Yeah,
I thought.
Definitely, yeah, because like she kind of has that weight even throughout to the last parts of the movie. Something happens in the story that she gets upset. We'll get into that in a bit there, but yeah. But yeah, she's great in the movie. Her name was Evelyn Kingsley. She was also a singer in the 40s. But she wasn't in like the East Coast. She was on the West Coast. Somehow she ended up in Philadelphia. I also have her autograph, which is lit. Oh, and
yeah, that is cool. I really liked her character.
Yeah.
I think that she wasn't like, I won't say if she was good or bad, but I liked her character.
Yeah. Fun fact, I'm probably the only person who has her autograph, which is awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, it's from
That's totally cool.
She had like a contract, and someone just cut that contract out. I would have loved the contract to be intact, but it wasn't connected to the movie. It was like a membership of a club she was in.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, and her husband.
So I guess she's probably dead now.
She is. Yeah, she passed away about, I believe, in 2012 or 2013. She passed away, like, in California. Yeah. And she didn't have any kids, neither. I know she has, a niece who took care of her to her last days. I try to find her. I have no luck. I'm not sure if she passed away as well. It could happen. But yeah. Oh, and her husband too. The Spanish guy. For some reason.
Oh, that was her husband?
No, it wasn't her husband in real life. It was just her husband in the movie.
Oh, I didn't even know there were husbands in the movie. I thought he was.
Well, that's true. Now that you said it that way.
I gotta rewatch it and really pay attention to details now.
I feel like they were together. Like, he used to pimp her out, even though she was with her. I don't know. That's a really good thing you mentioned. Like, I don't think they were together. But
yeah, he definitely. I thought he was just her pimp.
Yeah. His name was I think Eddie Arroyo. No, it wasn't. Louis Arroyo. Sorry.
Character.
Yeah, he was strange. He feels like a Puerto Rican version of Nicolas Cage.
So he's somebody who gets what he wants for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I also have his autograph too. He was also in a movie like in the 60s, like 10 years before Toys. He was in a movie called The Young Savages. It was a Hollywood movie. I saw the other day, like, people aren't ready for that movie. Like, it's super racist. Like,
oh god.
Like slangs are thrown around a lot.
Oh my god.
And it's like coming from like kids.
Again?
What?
What's it called again?
It's called The Young Savages. It's free on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah. You can just type it on YouTube, The Young Savages, and he'll come up. Yeah. It's basically about like some Puerto Rican kids. They go to California to live. Some racist people come after them. One of them dies. It's crazy.
Aww.
But yeah, like it's very racist, like crazy.
I need to look at some more older movies that's like before the 70s. I don't feel like I've ever watched a movie that has been filmed before the 70s.
You haven't seen Psycho yet?
Never mind. I have seen Psycho and The Bird.
Okay.
Never mind.
That works. Yeah, also
and...
another thing too. This movie, when it came out, it had the same thing as Psycho. That like the last 10 to 15 minutes you weren't allowed to go in to avoid the spoilers. Like to avoid twists. Psycho and this movie, I think, are the only ones to do that. Where the director gave instructions to people to not let them come in 15 to 12 minutes before the movie ends, which is cool. Yeah,
that is cool.
That's pretty much all the characters I think we covered. There are a lot of characters. There's like the boss in the movie of like the boss of the toy store, which that's like his only thing too. Like they didn't really do anything after that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it was really just like the mom, the madam. I always called her a madam. I don't know.
Yeah, she has like that like representation on her.
Now that you say that there's more to the movie, that's like making me think. I'm like, oh my god, it could have went on. Like I want to see what the fuck that bitch was like after that and what happened. You know? Yeah,
there's supposedly more stuff out there of her. That's the thing. Like more of the scenes are of Fran with Marcia and with her husband. Suppose there's even a scene that Fran goes to the pimp's house looking for Marcia. So that one is weird. That's the rumor out there. It's not 100% confirmed that that's what it is, but I believe it is because the person who has it, like basically has said that. That's about it. And that cut is supposedly that cut is better than the original. I doubt it, but you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
I've seen many cut movies that have been fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
I'm gonna definitely have to buy the Arrow.
Yeah. It's fun. Yeah, you'll like it. There's not as many bonus features. That's the thing which I hated about it. But there's a historian, like a film historian, talks about it. He knows a lot about stuff too.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, there's about it, and then they talk about like Jamie's sexuality in the movie. They kind of break it down. They said like yes, like this is an actual thing that people go through at times. That like she's traumatized of her father, this and that, so that. But yeah.
Right, no, I 100% can guarantee you that that's not the first story that stemmed from, we can just say it, like, not sexual abuse, but maybe sexual trauma.
Something happened,
something happened to make that person the way that they are.
Yeah. And also to give the last like person connected to this movie, it has to be the director of this movie. Like that dude is crazy.
Yeah, he's definitely crazy.
He's
and
awesome.
I almost want to think that, like,
Yeah,
he's
like,
experienced better.
his imagination, yeah.
Life.
Like,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
Definitely imaginative.
He did only 2
Because
movies. Go ahead.
At the beginning, I didn't really understand what was going on until the mom walked in.
Yeah.
Be honest with,
Yeah, because it's so dark. The movie's so dark, so you can't really see anything. They're kind of close up of the face, close up on the feet. Like, it's almost like Hereditary. Like, it's dark, but you're trying to see as little as you can.
I love Hereditary.
What was that?
I love Hereditary. You know, I watched it. I went to the movies to see it, and I didn't hardly pay attention to it. And I left thinking, oh, I don't know if I like that. And then I came home and I rewatched it, and I was like fucking mind blown, obsessed. And now I've seen it like 10 times. I loved it.
Same thing. I was gonna see it in theaters, but I got turned down by the way people talked about it. Like, oh my god, it's the next Exorcist. Oh, and like that comparison came up. I was like, I'll just never watch it. I'll just watch The Exorcist instead. This movie's completely different from The Exorcist. Like,
yeah, it was completely different for sure. There was only like one scene that I thought maybe could become. I could talk about any and almost every horror movie all day long. So.
Yeah. That's when you get that that podcast running with me and Eric. We're gonna be talking more about it. So we're not gonna get too much about Hereditary. We'll just leave it at that. But if people haven't seen Hereditary, go out and see it. Like.
Yeah,
I didn't see it in theaters. I saw it
and sit down, pay attention to it, and watch the whole movie because it is kind of slow burn. So it's easy
worth
to
it.
get distracted, and then you're like, "Oh, what's going on?" But if you really watch the whole movie, by the time the finale happens, you're like floored in the floor. So
I saw it at my house. I didn't see it in theaters, but I saw it in my house, and like I was scared. Like, movies don't scare me. Movies don't scare me, but this one like scared the crap out of me. Like, I was like covering like almost my eyes with like the blankets and everything. Cause that's how good it was. But like, it's so good and scary that you don't want to cover your eyes because the movie's so good. But then the movie scares you at the same time without even barely doing anything. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I knew it was gonna be fucked up when the certain thing happened with the little girl. I was like, okay, so
poor Charlie. Charlie is something for sure. Yeah, that girl creeps me out still. I'm like,
so ugly.
But getting back into the director there, he only made 2 movies. And he wrote another movie called Behind Locked Doors in 68.
Okay.
That's a movie I haven't seen. People say that movie's really good. I own some of that stuff that's connected to the movie, which if you guys still up in here with the podcast, if you look down the description, there'll be a group of Toys Not for Children that you guys can look at. So it's some cool stuff. I'm on it.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna join the group now. I love joining groups per movies and per characters and everything. I love it. Yeah,
I have tons of like info and stuff in there, like movies, memorabilia of mainly Toys Not for Children, but just of the director itself. I have a whole lot of his stuff. I'm actually
I'd like to have a T-shirt.
Yeah, the thing is they don't sell T-shirts of it. That's crazy.
God,
I gotta get some. I gotta make some. I gotta make some.
Yes, that could be like some official merch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the director there, this is his last movie as well. Supposedly that he owed so much money to like I said earlier, to the distributors. He just was done with it. He opened a gym, like a high class gym in Philadelphia, I believe in the 80s. And that got banged. He had to file for bankruptcy on that. But yeah, he passed away, I would say probably like 10 years ago. He did. His daughters are around. I found his daughters. But yeah, they're most of the stuff that like contracts and stuff, I doubt they have them. You never know, but I tried to contact them. I haven't got a message back from them. I would love to even have them on here. But
I know, it's like we're like the guys that are hunting the rest of like we're like, have you seen the movie The Hills Run Red where they're hunting for the footage of the
I haven't.
That's what this reminds me.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. Also, the toy soldier of the beginning of the movie that Marcia kind of does something to it.
Yep.
That toy is still out there.
Okay, it was creepy.
Yeah, it's like a toy soldier, British, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's still out there. I believe Marcia still has it. But hey,
she probably does. I want to talk to Marcia. I want to pick Marcia's brain.
Yeah, I really wish we could have her on. Hopefully so. Now that yeah, hopefully so. I mean, it wouldn't be out of the realm.
She might see her here. There's and be like, wow.
Yeah.
Really,
I also forgot to say this at the beginning when her daughter told her about me. She freaked out. She was like, "Oh my god! Like, I would never think someone would like that movie. Like, that movie is so weird and atrocious that like it's weird that I even have a fan about it." And her daughter was like, don't feel that way. Everyone has a fan of something out there, and that person did this so much that he actually wants to be a part of you or have something from you, or ask for something from you. That's how fans are. Like, I didn't want to sound creepy or anything to them. Like, oh my god, I've been stalking you guys for a year.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
It's the truth. Yeah. Maybe she's probably deep down flattered.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she is. Like, because supposedly
it was like an artsy-fartsy movie that had like kind of like meaning behind it.
Yeah.
So
I would like to see like very people who are like deep into art to see what they think about this movie. Like,
yeah, I got a few little artsy-fartsy friends that I could maybe show it to and could try to pick it apart.
Yeah. Like, oh my god, this movie actually means this, and they break it down that way. It's super cool when you see stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get into spoiler territory. At least for the last 10 minutes of the video. I mean, of the podcast here.
I'm excited to get into spoilers. Yeah. So you go first.
Let's start with the beginning. Well, we got a Fran Warren character. Marcia is basically moaning. Saying daddy, daddy, which
daddy.
That movie is ahead of its time because daddy, the same meaning she had of daddy is the same meaning of daddy now.
I know, but in the movie it's just so much more cringe because
it's more sickening.
Off gate that she's not talking about like her boyfriend that's banging her ass out, that's her daddy. She's talking about her paternal father. Yeah. Because she's laying there and she's got her toys around her and she's moaning and groaning and she's obviously masturbating and so it's automatically the vibe was different, but I see what you're saying. That definitely is still the fucking same now.
Yeah.
But I'm sure back then, when they saw it, it was like, holy shit, shut the fuck up, little girl.
Definitely. Like, I can see why she's ashamed of that movie because of, like, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Right.
And I believe next scene, after that, is the creepy title card. Then after that, I think we go to the toy store.
Yeah.
Where she meets her husband, soon-to-be husband. And that's where she also meets Pearl, like the pimp's wife, I guess.
Yeah, and they become friends.
Yeah, like I'll give you a number, I'll help you out, or whatever, or you want to have a friend. I think that's what she says to her. I'm not too sure what she says, but she says, "Oh yeah, like contact me. I live here and here. Meet up with me." We introduced to the creep.
They became friends. She found out what she did for a living.
Yeah, she found out she knew her father.
She asked for her job at the toy store.
Yeah, and she found out that she knew her father.
Oh yes.
And she was like, "Hey, I know your father. Yeah, he's an old customer of mine. I haven't seen him around as much, but I definitely know him." Now that's what I wonder. That's what Pearl wanted. Because later in the movie, Pearl basically tries to sleep with Jamie.
Yeah, she does.
She tries to. Like, I wonder if that was, like, her leverage over Jamie throughout the whole movie. Like, oh, yeah, you'll meet your father, you'll meet your father. Never happens.
It it was even more unsettling, I felt like, because the whole movie I liked her character because she was trying to protect her and did not let her do that, only to find out that she wants to eat her pussy, basically. And she gets mad when she's rejected.
Yeah. Yeah, she just flips out. Before we get to that part after that, let's go back a little bit more. So yeah, like, and then she meets the pimp at the house. He immediately tries to rape her. Like,
yeah,
in your face, like, oh my god, I want you kind of thing.
It was like Glass House on the left, straight up, we're doing this.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, what's the matter with you? Like, oh, like, I think he found out she's a virgin without her telling him. So then they get to that kind of thing, and yada yada. Something happens down the road that they do end up sleeping with each other.
Which that was a whole nother.
I did not expect that to happen though.
It was
she hasn't slept with her husband that she married, but she just gave it to this dude she just met.
It was a very subtle, dirty scene because she was like, she was like, okay, but you have to act like you're my daddy, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, but daddy, da 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 da, and it was just this whole horrifying role play. So I did find it kind of odd that she give in to the pimp.
Yeah.
But she didn't give in to her husband. I guess maybe she thought her husband wouldn't understand.
True.
Her freaky cheeky thing.
Yeah. And I guess she really does love him kind of thing, but she just, like, doesn't have a sexual attraction to him.
Right.
Because like, she's like, I'm sorry, Charlie, I can't do this. Like, I'm sorry about this. Like, okay.
She totally fucked him up for life.
Yeah. For sure. So, after that, Pearl finds out that he slept with her. And oh my god, you made her to a pimp now. You basically ruined her. She flips out again. Which I guess that's another indication that, like, she's upset. Not because she slept with her. It's because, like, she won't have her for her own this time. She'll be out with other dudes and stuff. So, and basically, Jamie starts taking away her customers.
Right.
And basically, we're paying more for her. So, yeah. All that. And
she ends up becoming a straight up prostitute.
Yeah.
And that's when I thought it was the big twist, because or it was a big twist, because next thing you know, you see this little virginal, I don't want to have sex girl do all this perverted, sickening daddy daughter role play with these men. And you can definitely tell that she has fucking daddy issues.
Yeah.
And that was a key plot point of the movie, is her issues with her dad.
Yeah, definitely. And basically, you know, everything starts going south. She tries to sleep with her. Pearl tries to sleep with Jamie and
begs her to stop hooking, and was like, I'll take care of you. And then all of a sudden, she's rejected by her, and she's like, I didn't know you were like that. So the woman gets obviously pissed, like women do, and is like, I'm gonna ruin your fucking life.
Yeah.
So you can tell the rest of it though.
Yeah. And basically after that, Pearl contacts her father and says, hey, I got a prostitute for you. Sends Jamie over and says, you're ready to meet your daddy. Literally.
Yeah.
I feel like Jamie doesn't know any better that, or probably that's what Jamie always wanted, to have sex with her father, which is what I think is the movie there.
I think that's really, you hit that on the head. That is what she wanted.
Yeah. And basically he goes up, and like before Jamie comes up, he tells like the hotel guy, oh, tell them that I'm not available. If anyone comes looking for me, I'm not here. So Eddie, the pimp, goes to Pearl and says, where's Jamie at? And Pearl just says to him, she's out to see her father. Eddie gets upset because he knows that would ruin her. And basically, Jamie has sex with her father. And it's crazy.
Well, so, you know what got me? I wasn't really paying attention last night. So, as they got done, I thought he knew from the gate that was his daughter. Until the end, whenever he was was like, oh my God, and he freaked out about it and rejected her.
Well, the thing is, he says that she tells her, I think Pearl tells him she likes to be called, she likes to call people daddy. Just go with the flow kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
And he hasn't seen her in years, so he doesn't know what Jamie looks like. Because the last time he saw her was when she was a kid. Even though he would send toys to her every year.
I took something all wrong. I thought he knew, and they were like, finally he was with her, and they were fucking. That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, no, that's not what happened. Then he freaks out, like, oh my God, like, what have we have done? And then she's like, well, what's wrong?
She's like, we haven't done anything yet.
Yeah. And then she's like, but what's wrong? He's like, I'm Jamie. I'm your daughter kind of thing. He's like, oh my God, get out here, you whore, or whatever, or bitch, he tells her. And basically she says, I hate you. And basically pushes him out the window and kills him. And the movie slowly pans into her face with the same song of the title card, and credits roll, and yeah,
she's
you're left.
Butt naked.
Yep.
Traumatized for killing her dad because it didn't end the way it was supposed to. I think overall the movie was maybe supposed to be about maybe a young girl's sexual mental trauma. Maybe he had molested her before.
Could be.
And that's what, and I don't know. Like, I'm gonna have to really watch it again.
Yeah.
And really dissect it. But it's definitely a wild ride, and I really enjoyed it. I was not thinking that a movie from 1972 was going to get me the way that movie got me last night. I will be straight up with you. I didn't, and I would definitely watch it again. I'm going to buy it now. That's how good I think it was. I liked it.
Yeah,
it was
definitely.
Fucked up.
But yeah, it's crazy. Most people need to see this movie, and yeah, this is a movie that should be remade. Literally, hopefully down the road I get to do it. Not getting an announcement yet, but yeah,
that would be really cool.
It
for
would.
Sure. I think. Did you say you think it would be good being remade?
Yeah, I feel like this movie can be remade and be even better. But you can't go beat for beat what this movie did. You're gonna have to change some stuff around, and you have a lot you can change around in this.
They had a movie called Nymphomaniac that got Shia LaBeouf in it, and it follows this girl who's addicted to sex, but it follows her whole journey, and it's I kind of envision a reboot of that movie being kind of like along those lines. Like, it would definitely be like, wouldn't go to theaters because it would be so dirty and erotic.
That's the thing, yeah. You have to change some stuff around to be in theaters if you try to remake it.
We'd have to keep it a little subtle, but make it a little in your face too.
Yeah.
But I think that would be amazing. I would love to see it rebooted for sure.
Definitely. But yeah, let's go into the ratings. 1 out of 5. What you rate this?
I would say I would say for its time a 4. I think now, if the movie was made now and it was done with a really good artsy-fartsy director, I think they could make it a 5 for sure. But I think for the time, the wow factor that the movie gave me when I watched it last night, like, older movies like that sometimes don't really give me that wow factor. It gave me the wow factor like 3 or 4 times throughout the movie. So I would say a 4. I enjoyed it.
I'd say the same. Yeah, this movie is really good, and more people need to see this for sure.
Yes, I think we need to push it at conventions and have a booth for toys. Toys are not for children.
What would be nice if Marcia would give me that toy and have it at the booth. That'd be crazy.
God, that would be cool. I love cons. I want to.
Yeah.
Hopefully this podcast that I'm going to do and I don't know, something blows up. I want to be a part of something. I want to be, horror and abstract things are my thing. So.
Definitely.
I could definitely see us at a booth just for this movie, and I want to guarantee you, I bet you, somebody would be like, wow, I've seen that,
Definitely. I feel like this movie is going to blow up. I asked even some reviewers to review this movie. Just to put out there, Drum Dums is one of those.
Ooh, love him. Lee's cool.
Yeah,
I interact
he's
with
awesome.
him a lot on Killer Flicks. He's a cool dude.
Yeah. I have him. He's going to do it pretty soon. He hasn't given me a date yet, so...
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh.
So maybe lot of fans, so hopefully that'll
help boost that movie up.
Yes. It's a movie that definitely needs to get boosted up and needs to gain a cult following.
Yeah.
I absolutely, for sure.
Yeah, this movie, like, I'm the only purist out there of this movie, which is insane. Like, no one talks about the movie at all.
Yeah.
Like,
I'd never heard of it.
Yeah, like, literally, you would need to go word of mouth. Like, it's crazy, though. But, yeah, hopefully so, But yeah, I think, this is a pretty good podcast today, Kris. You did pretty good.
Do you think I did?
You did. Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
I had a blast. I could do this about any movie, any probably topic with you. I'd love to come back on and do it again for sure.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, definitely. We'll have more. We'll have a follow-up to this video.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, with Kris and Eric. I'll guide you guys some updates on it there.
Yeah.
Hopefully some announcements, too, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's also I like to end my podcast with like what's like a positive message or like a phrase of some sort. Well, what would be yours, Kris?
You go first.
All right. Mine's always pretty simple. Life isn't about me, it's about we.
Life isn't about you, it's about you.
No, life isn't about me, it's about we.
Well, I'll be honest with you, I'm too stoned to really think about that, but mine would be along the lines of that. Let's all come together and be happy.
Yeah, definitely. Can't ask anything more for that than to be happy in life. But yeah, sweet guys.
And to stop judging people and,
Yeah, just do your own thing. Just be happy and do your own thing and never mind the rest. Just help each other. So much you can ask for.
Help each other. That's perfect.
Sweet. But yeah, guys, this was podcast episode 2, and it was awesome. Links will be in the description. Kris information will be in the bottom. More info to come. And we will see you guys next time. Hopefully within a few weeks. But
Right. Bye.
All right, guys. See ya. Peace out.